Missouri Dan Watkins, known as Danny Boy Watkins. January the 6th in 1953. Well, I changed my birth certificate. You had to be 17, but I was only 16. I stamped over 36 and put 35 on my birth certificate, and that's where I went. But they weren't turning anybody back then. Well, I took training in Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri, and then came home on leave and then was sent to Korea. Well, we were engineers. We built roads and bridges. I left Korea in the first part of '54 and was transferred to Fort Hood, Texas, stationed there for about a year. For some, it's a sad day, but I'm glad that we'll all be able to go over and stand up for our country, and I wish more of them would do it now.
My name is Fletcher Slayton Crawford. I went into the Navy and enlisted in June of 1950. I went straight to boot camp in San Diego, and from there I went aboard my ship, USS Whetstone, and we put it back into commission. And as soon as we got it seaworthy and ready to go to sea, we went straight to Japan, from Japan to Korea. One day we had been sweeping mines in Wonsan Harbor in North Korea, and on the way back to Japan, as we did numerous times to resupply and have a few days of R&R, and I got a telegram from my father saying my brother had been wounded on pork chop. I did not know he was even in Korea or even in the Army, but he was in the 31st Dixie Division, Combat Engineers. And so when I got to Sasebo, Japan, I was able to go ashore and contact the Red Cross, who was able to find my brother at an evacuation hospital in Osaka, Japan. And a couple of days later, I was able to get permission to go ashore and go to see him. So I caught a train out of Yokosuka and went to see him for a couple of 3 days, came back home, caught my ship, and he was later airlifted on back to the States, where he made a pretty full recovery and has some residual, but he can do most anything. And we went back and forth to Korea, operating on the Yellow Sea side and the Sea of Japan side, sweeping mines and doing all kind of things out of Wonsan in preparation for an invasion which never happened. And when the armistice was signed, the ceasefire was signed, we occupied an island in the harbor of Wonsan, which was way above the bomb line, and we had 72 hours to evacuate that harbor. And our ship was assigned to go in and pick up munitions and all the equipment we could get off of that island during the 72 hours we had. So we picked up a shipload of munitions and stuff like that and took it back down to Pusan, to an ammunition dump for disposal. And shortly after that, we came back to the States, and since it was all over with, the Navy was given an early discharge to many sailors, and I got a 80-day early discharge